I have had a lot of requests to make sure that one particular presentation called Pain and Gain is also up on the film. And the reason, I think, is because a lot of organizations are discussing internally what is the value of a good pipeline management system for their organizations. And when I say a pipeline management system, I don't mean a piece of CRM software, I don't mean a piece of lead automation software, I don't mean a sales structure, I mean the thinking about sales within the organization and how sales is approached within the organization itself. So what I've tried to do is I've tried to take our pipeline visual and methodology and then look at the value of the pipeline to the different functions within the organization. Okay, so we begin with our sales reps. Now obviously this slide is not nearly big enough to look at all of the value to the sales reps. The whole pipeline and methodology is about the value of the pipeline for the sales reps themselves. So here's just a couple of snippets. Yeah. At the beginning and the early stages of the pipeline, the sales rep gets value from this because they focus on business development, they focus on white space opportunity, they focus on relationship building, making sure relationships are very good and very sustainable. They focus on credibility, their own personal credibility, and they focus on filling the pipeline. So they focus on their own personal future success as an individual, which equates with success for their organization. Yeah. But for me personally, success for their organization is a byproduct. Yeah? My motivation is success for the individual salesperson. A salesperson is always a salesperson. They're always looking for opportunity. And if the opportunity just has to happen to be in your company and things that bring your organization revenue, that's good. Yeah? So step one is very much about filling the pipeline and finding opportunity and finding growth. Yeah. Okay. What's very important here? This line here says, in the average job description, step one is not described for the role of a client representative. Yeah. So as a salesperson, when you go and read your job description, you won't see anything that we write about in step one. Yeah. You'll read step 2 and step 3 and step 4 and step 5. You'll be able to make a match there, but you won't see stuff in your job description about step 1. Most sales organizations, believe it or not, do not reward their people for doing step 1 activity. This is crazy. Yeah? I mean, this has no foundation in common sense. This is a completely surreal situation that has been kind of bred over the past 30 years of sales management behavior, sales organization behavior, and is a direct result of the focus on results and the focus on quarterly success that this world has generated. Yeah? In my opinion, that's the only real reason. But anyway, that's a philosophical direction that we don't really necessarily need to go into here. Okay? So, in short, the difference between the hunter and the farmer, the reactive salesperson and the proactive salesperson all begins in stage 1. Obviously further as well, but it really does get addressed at this level. Okay, look at this one here. I'd like to no bid on this tender because we won't win it anyway. Strategies for dealing with tenders and changing the vision, the customer's buying vision. Yeah. So here we're speaking about qualification of the opportunity. The value for the sales rep is that the pipeline gives them the place, the tool, and the way in which to say, is this a good opportunity for us or not, whatever the criteria are, whether it's profitability, revenue, whether it's strategic importance, whether it's, is this an easy or a difficult opportunity to close, etc., etc. Okay, I'd like to no bid on this tender. We also address the principle that tenders very often are not successful, and they take a lot of work for the sales organization to invest in. And so what do we do in a no-bid situation? The pipeline for the sales rep gives a very clear indication of how we no-bid on a particular opportunity. In step 3 and step 4, there are a couple of tools there which are the answer to that question. You no-bid in a way that attempts to give value to your customer, regardless of the fact that you're saying, we don't want to go into this bid, but we still want to give you some value as well. Here's a nice line: I hate project managers. Well, good for you. I hate project managers, I hate pre-sales people. They always mess up my deals. Yeah. Well, the good news is they probably hate you too. I think somewhere there's a clip about cooks and waiters. Have a look at that and that'll be explained. But what's very important is the handover of responsibilities. In all complex sales environments, the sales process gets handed over to somebody else at some stage. So you hand over your activities to a project manager, and this handover is the responsibility of the sales rep, nobody else. Project managers are not responsible for the quality of the relationship at the beginning stages of the deal. You are, as salespeople. Yeah? There is no negotiation on that particular point. And so what the pipeline does is that it shows very clearly what are the responsibilities of salespeople, stages 1, 2, 3. And where do the responsibilities of project managers and potentially pre-sales, where do they start coming in? And that is from step 3 and step 4 onwards. It's quite possible that as a salesperson, you take responsibility for the whole pipeline. Yeah? Some salespeople do the implementation as well. Yeah? But in an environment where you do handover, it's critical to get the handover line absolutely well established and clear so that it doesn't create problems for you later. Okay. Success leads to a reference. Yeah? And here's a question. Will this reference support an acquisition campaign? Will it support me in finding new business? If marketing does it, no, it will not support you as a salesperson finding new business and acquiring new business. Sales is responsible for references. Yeah? This is a small sentence with a very, very big background and input. And it starts a whole philosophical discussion, another one that maybe we want to go into here, maybe not. But basically, references, the way that they're built today, are normally for the use of customers in stage 4 of the buying process, which is to evaluate your company against other companies. Yeah? And salespeople are not really interested in that. Yeah? There's not, this evaluation criteria is blah, blah, blah. Salespeople are interested in stories that help them sell new projects. And these reference stories need to be, they need to be different from the generic type of reference story that you normally see on a website and that is normally created by marketing organizations. Yeah? So there's some work to be done here, but salespeople do not like retrospective thinking. They don't like writing up stories about things that have happened in the past. So, but there's big value for the sales organization in thinking about the way that their reference stories are used. Okay, let's see. Negotiation stage, stage 6. I give the client too much discount because I didn't want to ruin the relationship. The value of the pipeline for the salespeople is the art of negotiation and the points and principles of negotiation skills. One of the biggest dilemmas for a sales organization in a project sales-based environment is the fact that their salespeople are not negotiators. Yeah? They're not seasoned professional negotiators. They're sales reps. They're project-oriented sales reps. They go into a project-focused sales opportunity which has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and then dies. It's over. You move on to the next client, the next opportunity, which means the negotiation of that particular project is always subject to the balance between the relationship, the next potential project, and anyway, you know, salespeople are more likely to give their customers better deals and not to negotiate hard than if you have a seasoned and professional negotiator. I do a lot of work in the FMCG or fast-moving consumer goods environment, and there you just see negotiators, key account managers who negotiate on a very different level and a very higher, much higher level of professionalism and quality than people in the project and solution sales focused environment. Yeah, because it's a different scenario and a different system. So as salespeople, if you want to negotiate well, then there's a lot of learning for you in this particular area. We've got a little bit of it within the pipeline system, but go and get your nego skills done somewhere, because it's a very, very critical piece of the whole picture as well. So there's just a couple of bits there, and this begins us on the road. We've got all of the values of all of the different functions within the organization coming to us now, which we'll have a look at.